Can you explain how our sun produces heat and how does it function?
Yes, of course. Now, the way how our planet Earth, are able, to produce the lava, which when it comes to the surface of the Earth, the same way it's actually the size is a matter, and the concentration of the energies matters too. Now, the higher the concentration, higher the gravity force. Higher the gravity force, the faster the energy travels. Now, what happens when that energy travels fast? Now, let's take a look. Imagine in your mind like a big ball, and we cut it in half. And I mean, you can make out of anything. Just doesn't have to be football itself, but make sure it's solid, round shape, has a square shape. You cut it, and take a look from the center to the surface. Now the atoms, which one they are way in the center of the sphere shape, what happened? That actually they have to travel faster, and to go faster and travel even deeper into the space to be able, to function normal. The ones which one they to the surface, they travel actually shorter distance. And what happens? Now the ones which one has ability to travel longer distance, the ones they have ability to travel short distance, that actually creates friction. What that does, that friction, actually, the ones which one they coming out deep from inside the inner core, they actually disintegrate that energy. The one which one just melt, instead of melting it, the top surface of the that inner core of the sun, it actually disintegrate. Disintegrate. That's what you see. The mass which one got disintegrated. And what happened now? From the inner core of the sun all the way to the crust, it's like a chamber, which one it constantly every split second is filled up with the burnt gases. And what happened? And actually the sun doesn't have the volcanoes the way the Earth does. It's like a exhaust chambers. This has an exhaust. Big holes. From where it bursts all that energy out. That's how you see. Until now, scientists don't know why the sun has a corona. Why the temperature on the corona is a lot higher than on the surface of the sun itself, because on the surface it's only 5,000 kelvins, but on the 4 million miles away from the sun, where the corona is located, it actually reaches 2 million kelvins. What exactly, how possibly way that energy could have reached over there? Think about this now. The force constantly build up inside the chamber. It forced that burned all that disintegrated mass, it forces, all the way to the upper surface. And then, because the sun has, more gravitational force, actually gravity, it forces to hold down most of it. Sometimes happen, when we have, you see the big chunks, they're floating into the space. But most of it, actually sun able to hold on to it, and it goes down to the surface of the outer crust of the sun itself. This is the exactly way how the sun it works. If anybody disagree with me, right now I'm ready to have a debate with them and prove that. But this is the true way of exactly how the sun functions. Again, I'm going to repeat. The energy which one deep inside the inner core, they travel the fastest and farther away from the sun. But the one they are close to the surface, because they think about this. This is simple physics. Simple physics. You take the hose and you let the hose, just come the water itself out. Obviously, it won't travel too far. How about you squeeze the tip of the hose? What happens? You see, it has the same pressure, comes out from the same pipe, but what happens? You are able to force the water even farther away. And now think about yourself. The one, it just comes out, as much as it forces it out to it. The other one, it travels farther away, because the one it got squeezed deep inside the inner core, and 28.9 gravitational force. It should tell you how much pressure has the deep inside the inner core of that sun.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about global warming. How truly does global warming work? And can you explain why we're having global warming?
Yes, of course. Let's, for example, pre-industrialization period. Our the atmosphere, the mixture of our atmosphere was only 280 per billion, the mixture of the carbon dioxide within our atmosphere. But currently, scientists they said that 300 per billion, and it's keep rising. Yes, I believe it's already past 400 per billion mixture of the gases. And what exactly does that? We know our mixture of the gases. Most of the gases we have within our atmosphere has ability to accumulate moisture, except one gas, the carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, they do not have ability to accumulate moisture. And what happens when we release too much of it? Imagine, the area where it usually accumulates the moisture, which when it turns actually rain droplets and come down to the surface again. The most of the carbon dioxide accumulate the same level too. And what happened? It interfered with our weather system. Now take a look what is happening in our Midwest. Why do you think the hurricane they became more powerful than ever before? Because what happens, now on the temperature it will already tipping. The summer will be incredibly hot, unbearable, and the winter will be unbearably cold. And the two extreme is rising on the surface of the earth. We're losing the balance. The more we lose the balance, the more you're gonna see incredible weather like that. This is just the beginning. And as a human being, I want for everybody open their eyes and see the reality. See how far we're gonna go. Are going to go into the point, to kill our fellow citizens, just for the sake of, burning this fossil fuel? Think about that.
So how is it that global warming? How is it bad for us as humans?
Yes, it impact our life, of course. Think about this. What happens? We have on the surface, we have high pressure and low pressure, and the high pressure and the low pressure they don't interfere with the Earth's energy at all. But actually, the low pressure doesn't interfere with the Earth's energy, but the high pressure does. What happens? The time of high pressure, it doesn't matter what the atom they represent. The carbon monoxide, dioxide, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, and they have ability to pull each other. This is what I was able to understand. This is what I have difference between me and other scientists. That all the atoms they function the same. Especially within gases. They pull each other. Even though some of them they malfunction when they are within each other. Like the time of rain, you see, the carbon dioxide doesn't allow happen. The rain droplets, but when there is no rain droplets, there is no moisture in the air. Actually, they pull each other and they interfere within our the energy of the Earth. That's how we have low and high pressure within our inner space.